Hello, welcome to Scrap Time episode 597. My name is Christine, and on today's episode I'm showing you some new templates from the Crafters Workshop. Today I'm going to be showing you a bunch of new templates from the Crafters Workshop. This first one is a set of squares sort of in a grid, which would make it really easy to make a grid on your project. Then we have the same thing with circles. You can put some inks and paints in here and do some really neat background designs. Here we have the houndstooth. I love that. Roll some paint through there and inks. I think that's really great. Houndstooth is becoming more popular these days. I love this one with all your bird cages and birds and the tree. Really pretty. This one is great too, with sort of the dandelion type flowers and butterflies and then the grasses. Really nice. Here we have two different size banners, which is great. And then we have this you could use just as a back design to lay something on, or you can add in some journaling lines into the design. Again, we have some more journaling blocks it could be, or you could just put these, ink this up and then even put embellishments inside of it. This is great. You can do either spray it and have sort of numbers all over your background, or you can get ink and just put, say you're putting the date, the 2, and then move it and put the 0 beside it and the 1, and you can have the date like that in all different sizes of numbers. Clocks are really big these days, so here you can make some really neat clock prints on the background of your projects. I love this one. They're diamonds, but they're all sort of distressed and tattered in that. I think would make a very interesting design. That's really great. Here we have these trees with just all the branches and that. I think is fabulous. This is sort of some words, sort of tattered, and with the keys. Again, keys being very popular. Again, would make a fabulous background. You could do something just really subtle with it and that, and then layer on top of it. I love this number 1. This is definitely more for just that all over design versus the other one where you could take it and make dates and that out of it. I think that's great. And this is another one of my favorites, just a whole crazy zigzag sort of lines. There's so much you could do with that for really crazy backgrounds. Love it. Here's a really fun one with the bees going around the hive. Then here we have a little butterflies and dragonflies. Actually, they're dragonflies swirling around. Here we have some frames that you can again add around and then put embellishments or journaling inside of them. And then this last one we have some nice butterflies with some really great swirly background designs. All the templates come in 6 by 6 inches as well, which is perfect for your card making and your art journaling. You can see how great all the patterns look scaled down to that 6 by 6 format. And here are a few more very pretty, delicate designs. So each time I show you the Crafters Workshop templates, I always like to show you yet another technique you can use with them. So this time I'm using some multi-medium. I use Claudine Studio one in matte. And what I've done is I've brushed the medium through the template, and the medium forms a resist. So this was a pattern piece of paper from Kaisercraft, and I used the diamond sheet there, the distressed diamonds, and I only put it here on this half of the paper. You can see the diamonds, and then I sprayed using one of my mists around it, and you can see how the diamonds poked out and the original paper is showing through. The medium resisted that spray. Then here, this is my little art journal, and I had done just a rainbow background. I was testing some new art stuff I had. And what I did is I put the multi-medium in the houndstooth over top of the page. And then once it dried, I put a wash of paint over top. And so all those places where you're seeing the orange and the yellow and the blue and the purple and that's all underneath the multi-medium in that houndstooth pattern. I just move it a bit, see if you can see it any better. So you can use it obviously with paints as well. And then I made this card. I used the butterfly one, and this time I used pan pastels to bring out the design. And this is the one I'm going to show you today. So what I did is I took my template and I put it over my card, however it fit on, and I took my brush and I brushed multi-medium all over top of it. So when I peeled it off, you might be able to see there's a texture. But if you can't, that's okay, because that is what the magic is. So here we have our butterfly texture. So what I'm going to do is use my pan pastels. I'm going to use the purple colors today. And I'm going to start by taking the lightest color, and as I brush it over, that pattern is now going to reveal itself. And wherever there isn't the multi-medium, that is going to be the darkest areas. Now because pan pastels are very pigmented, it might still catch in the flat areas too. It might stick to that area, which is fine. But what will happen is where the paper is going to be the dark area. So already you see that color coming out. I'm going to put on the next shade up. You can see what a cool pattern that makes. And with the pan pastels, it's really quick and easy to get a nice coverage over top of it. Then I'm going to use the darker, and you can I don't have to put the darkness everywhere. I can just put it over some of the areas. I can even take the really dark and put a bit of a frame around it. Blend it in a bit with the tint. And then again with the main color. And you can just play around to however you want your card to look. But there's another way. You can use the templates with some multi-medium and your pan pastels. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out my website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, we are making a flower at the Pink Paisley booth at CHA. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.